Hello, beautiful souls. Today's presentation is about awakening worthiness, a four-part shame recovery journey brought to you by Full Force Wellness Coaching and Recovery Maintenance. And today's agenda consists of introduction of myself, the facilitator, a breathing exercise, which I call 447, which is also my favorite breathing exercise, and the list of the four families of shame, four families of emotion. But today we're going to just do the shame emotion, one of the four. And it consists of understanding shame, shame triggers, and the inner critic, breaking shame cycle. Before we begin the presentation, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Deidre. I'm the CEO, founder of Full Force Wellness Coaching and Recovery Maintenance. I have a master's degree in counseling. I'm a certified health and wellness coach. I specialize in relationships, love, career, spirituality, job, and finances. And I'm bringing this presentation is about shame. And also, before we begin, let's start the breathing exercise 447. Let's do that a number of 5 times. Breathe in 4, hold 4, and release 7. Let's begin. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take a minute to relax and return back to center at this time. Hopefully that puts your state of mind in a recharge, rejuvenating mode. And that's what it's all about. Taking time to pause, breathe, being aware of your breath. And with that being said, let's go on and get started here. The four families of emotions are shame, guilt, humiliation, and embarrassment. And we're going to cover all four, but not at this time. We're going to break it down. Today's series is the shame category. of the four families of emotion. And by the end of this presentation, the expected outcomes is to understand emotional landscape of shame and healing, identify triggers and stories, build confidence to express vulnerability, strengthen resilience through empathy and self-compassion. First part is to understanding shame, the hidden story we carry. Shame is the belief that something is wrong with me. Shame hides under perfectionism, silence, anger, and withdrawal. Shame develops through childhood wounds. A lot of the shame that we experience as adults that's considered triggers or vulnerability is learned through from being a child. We grow up holding our shame within and the expectations and process failures. Shame shows up as self-doubt, fear of being seen, staying small, or overgiving. Shame also is the purpose of shame work is gentle exposure, compassion, and truth. Shame is a deeply painful emotion that makes us feel unworthy of love, belonging, or acceptance. It often whispers the lie that something is wrong with me rather than I made a mistake. Unlike guilt, which focuses on behavior, shame attacks our sense of self, convincing us that who we are is flawed or not enough. Shame can show up as silence, perfectionism, withdrawal, people pleasing, or self criticism. It thrives in secrecy and judgment, keeping us disconnected from others and from our own truth. But when we bring shame into the light through awareness, compassion, and an honest connection, it begins to lose its power. Healing from shame means learning to see ourselves with kindness, acknowledging that imperfection is part of being human, and reclaiming our worthiness, no matter our past or our pain. Here are some reflection questions. Take a moment to ponder these questions. When did I learn to hide parts of myself? At what age? Was it age 8, 12, 18? When did you learn to hide parts of yourself? And the second question to ponder on is who taught me I had to earn worthiness? Where did that come from? Was it when you were 8, 10, 12, 18? Who taught you you had to earn worthiness? And part 2, shame triggers and the inner critic, the voice that isn't yours. Shame triggers consist of mistakes, criticism, being ignored, and or rejection. The inner critic consists of learned voice saying you're not enough. So triggers plus inner critic equal shame storms. Reclaiming your voice, grounding, pausing, replacing critic with truth. Shame triggers understanding. What sets off the inner critic? Shame triggers are moments that activate the painful belief something is wrong with me. These triggers are not the problem, they are invitations to heal the beliefs underneath. Below is a breakdown of four major shame triggers. We have mistakes, criticism, being ignored, and rejection. Mistakes. Mistakes often trigger shame because they challenge our sense of worthiness. Instead of seeing a mistake as a normal part of growth, shame turns it into a personal flaw. For example, I failed, so I am a failure. This comes from environments where mistakes were punished, mocked, or treated like proof you weren't good enough. An example of that is, or are, you forgot an appointment and immediately think, I can't do anything right. You make a small error at work and obsess over it for days. You avoid trying new things because you fear messing up. And then you have someone who points out a mistake and you shut down instead of learning from it. Criticism. Criticism can activate shame when your identity was shaped around being perfect, pleasing, or good. Even gentle feedback can feel like an attack on your worth. Shame translates criticism into you're not enough. An example of that is a supervisor says, fix this, and you instantly feel embarrassed or defensive. Someone corrects you and you start replaying the situation in your head over and over. You apologize excessively because you fear disappointing people. You feel crushed even by constructive feedback. Being ignored, being ignored taps into the belief that your presence, voice, or needs don't matter. When people overlook you, silence becomes a form of rejection that says, I'm invisible, I don't matter. This is common for people who grew up in emotionally unavailable households. And examples are someone doesn't respond to your text and you immediately assume they're upset with you. Or in group discussions, you hold back because you feel no one cares what you have to say. Or even in a team meeting or somewhere where there's a group, you over explain or over give just to be seen. When people don't acknowledge your efforts, you feel defective or unworthy. Rejection. Rejection strikes at the core fear of not being lovable or chosen. Shame turns a no into I'm not good enough. Even small rejections can echo deeper wounds from childhood or past relationships. And examples are someone declines your invitation and you feel embarrassed or unlovable. Romantic rejection triggers self-blame or questioning your worth. You avoid vulnerability or being transparent to prevent being turned away. You settle for less in relationships because abandonment feels unbearable. Let's take a moment to reflect. Here's a couple of reflection tasks. In your spare time, list 5 shame triggers and the message you hear. And the message you hear, you rewrite those messages with compassion because it's all about self compassion. And when you have self compassion for yourself, you putting yourself into a mindset to have strong emotional, being strong emotionally, physically, and mentally. Shame triggers and the message you hear. Making a mistake. Number one, making a mistake. And the message you hear, you shouldn't have you should have known better. Everyone can see you're not enough. Number two, being criticized. And the message you hear, you're failing. You can't do anything right. And three, feeling ignored or overlooked. The message you hear, you don't matter. No one even notices you. Number four, rejection. In love, work, or relation or friendship. And the message you hear, you're unlovable. Something must be wrong with you. And five, compare yourself to others. And the message you hear, you'll never measure up. Everyone else is doing better than you. I know we all feel guilty when we hear these messages that we tell ourselves. So that's why we have to change our negative self talk into something positive. We have to rewrite our way of thinking. And with that being said, part three, breaking shame cycles, rewriting the story you inherited. Shame creates cycles such as self sabotage, hiding needs, or overachieving. And a cycle with that exists because shame convinces you you're unworthy. And the tools you will need to conquer shame, self compassion, story rewriting, boundary setting, setting boundaries. When you're telling an individual yes to something when you really want to say no, you causing yourself shame, embarrassment, guilt, and humiliation within. So be true to yourself. Know your boundaries. I mean, set your boundaries. Know your boundaries. Know your vulnerability. Know your triggers. Be kind to yourself. Yourself matters mentally, physically, and emotionally. And the truth, I am worthy without performing. Shame creates cycles such as self sabotage. Shame convinces you that you don't deserve good things, so you unconsciously determine your own process. Instead of moving forward, you create setbacks that reinforce the belief that you're not enough. Examples are procrastinating on goals, ending relationships that feel too good, quitting before you succeed. Don't even give yourself a chance. Don't even try. Number two, hiding your needs. Shame makes you believe your needs are a burden. You silence yourself, you shrink, you pretend you're okay, you avoid asking for help or expressing emotions because you fear rejection or judgment. And examples are saying I'm fine when you're not, avoiding vulnerability or being transparent or telling your story or knowing your triggers and identifying your triggers so that you can tell your story, so that you can be vulnerable, or taking care of everyone except yourself. 3, overachieving. Shame tells you that your worth must be earned, so you push yourself beyond your limits to prove you're valuable. You chase perfection, accomplishments, and constant productivity to mask feelings of inadequacy. And examples are working without rest. You have to take a mental health day once in a while. Taking on too much responsibility, believing your value comes from what you do, not who you are. 4 part, stepping into worthiness, living unmasked and unapologetic. Worthiness. I deserve love and compassion because I exist. And the signs of worthiness is honesty, no shrinking, and healthy boundaries. You're being kind to yourself, showing yourself self-compassion, setting boundaries, letting a person know how they making you feel. Don't keep that bottled up inside. Daily practices, or you can have affirmations with daily practices, journaling, saying no, limiting comparison. Don't compare yourself to the Joneses. You are who you are at where you are, and you build off of that. Like that sculpture with the ginormous metal nail, you hitting away into a beautiful sculpture, a little bit at a time, baby steps to transform yourself. And transformation, which consists of confidence rises, anxiety decreases with transformation, and clarity increases. You start to see yourself in a better light. And reflection activity. Take the time to write a short paragraph on your old identity shaped by shame. Starting from when you was a little kid all the way to an adult to now. Think about the years, throughout the years, how you developed shame and the reason, where, at what point did you encounter shame and the reason why, what was the situation? And then after that, you write a new identity rooted in your truth. You are not your past. You have self-compassion for yourself. You are mentally, physically, and emotionally stable. Mental health matters. You matter. What it means to step into worthiness. Worthiness is not something you earn, it's something you remember. It is the inner shift from am I enough to I am enough. It involves releasing the belief that you must hide, shrink, or prove yourself to be accepted. It's the act of choosing self-respect, self-trust, and self-honoring every day. Don't neglect yourself. Don't show self-neglect. Show self-compassion, self-worthiness. 2, living unmasked. When living unmasked, it means removing the layers of protection you built to survive. The perfectionism, the silence. Don't be silenced anymore, drowning in shame. The people pleasing, the pretending. And what this looks like is showing up as your real self, even when it feels unfamiliar. Because something new is uncomfortable or unfamiliar because you've been doing a certain things for so long. So now is a new era, a new way of doing things. And you're speaking your truth without waiting for permission, allowing your emotions, needs, and voice to be seen by telling your story. Well, no, first knowing your triggers, telling your story, or being vulnerable or transparent, being true to yourself, letting go of roles you play to stay liked or safe. And mind you, everyone doesn't get the opportunity to know your vulnerabilities, because there are some individuals out there that would try to know your vulnerabilities and use it against you. So don't share your vulnerabilities with everybody. Know whom to share your vulnerability or your story with. And why it matters? Because masks keep you acceptable to others, but disconnected from yourself. And you no longer want that. You want to be true to yourself. Be worthy of yourself. Show yourself self-compassion. And three, living unapologetic. Living unapologetic does not mean being rude. It means refusing to apologize for your existence, desires, boundaries, or growth. And what this looks like: saying no without guilt, setting boundaries without explaining yourself, taking up emotional and physical space, not dimming your confidence, passion, or personality. And why does this matter? Because when you stop shrinking or hiding behind your shame, or not telling your story, or not being vulnerable, or not knowing your triggers, you stop betraying your own spirit. Or the transformation from hidden to honored. So before it's hidden, you you're quieting your truth, you're downplaying your intelligence, you're hiding your needs, you're seeking approval to feel secure. And then after, or being honored, or honoring yourself, you standing in your power, claiming your story, choosing self-trust. You choosing self-trust, you trusting yourself to be vulnerable, you're choosing yourself to know your triggers, you're choosing yourself to know, to be self-aware of yourself, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Because moving through life with emotional freedom is golden. Number five, core message. You have spent years surviving. Now it's time to start living. Meaning you was waddling in shame and holding your truth in, not knowing your vulnerability, not knowing your triggers, just rolling with the punches because it felt so normal. But you want to get out of that. And worthiness is not a destination, it's a daily practice. Your self-awareness, self-compassion, being true to yourself, having worthiness of yourself, because worthiness matters. When you remove the mask, you remove the limits. When you stop apologizing for who you are or your flaws, you start evolving. This journey is about reclaiming your identity, your voice, and your future. Six, call to integration. Ask yourself, what mask have I been hiding behind? And challenge yourself, where am I still shrinking to make others comfortable? And affirm to yourself, I am worthy. I am allowed to be fully seen. I no longer apologize for existing. Closing reflections. What part of yourself are you ready to stop hiding? Your past traumas, your past flaws, anything from the past. You're no longer your past. You're not your past. Thank you for being here. Your healing, growth, and transformation matters. Continue your journey with Full Force Wellness Coaching and Recovery Maintenance. Email or call contact 1-877-51-FORCE. It's your future. Be happy, be healthy.